If the city of Cleveland thinks you owe back taxes and you haven't paid, your case is likely to wind up here, inside the Justice Center.
You may not be aware of the fact that the charges that you face today are criminal violations of the
You'd be before Judge Ron Adrian, who by law has to let you know how serious these charges can be.
Carries penalties of up to $1,000 in fines and or up to 180 days in jail or both.
So the Justice Center is where any of us could wind up if we owe the city of Cleveland taxes. But would the Cleveland Browns be treated differently? We wondered after the I-Team obtained an agreement the Browns signed last year with the city. What's in it isn't sitting well with many people we talked to.
Unfair. Unfair. Am I surprised? No.
Councilman Mike Polensek, the longest-serving member on City Council, was unaware of the deal the city signed with the Browns until we showed it to him.
It's pitiful. It's pitiful.
The two-page agreement was signed last year by the city's law director and the president of the Browns. It says in part that the Browns and Cleveland differ on the question of whether the admissions tax should be applied to portions of the premium purchases. Premium purchases for Browns games include seats in the enclosed loges. This is inside a loge during the stadium's construction, as well as pricey club seats. Now, listen closely. According to the agreement, if a similar situation arose with the Cavaliers regarding premium seats inside the queue, and then that situation reached a resolution, quote, the Browns and Cleveland will, here's the key word, prospectively apply such resolution for tax purposes. Prospectively means going forward or from now on, meaning the Browns may well never have to pay back taxes.
These are the premium seats. These are loges. And they're not required to pay taxes on the tickets, or they're only going to pay a percentage? Come on. I mean, when is enough enough?
The city and the Browns both declined on-camera interviews. In a statement, the Browns cite what the team calls the great benefit that admissions tax has brought to the city. The Browns statement continues in part, quote, the city has approved and applied admissions tax consistently for the last 20 years. We remain committed to honoring our responsibility to pay admissions tax as we always have since our franchise returned in 1999. The city signed the deal with the Browns just 3 months after Mayor Frank Jackson and City Council agreed to pay $30 million over 15 years towards renovations the Browns wanted at First Energy Stadium, including new high-tech scoreboards. In a statement to the I-Team, the city says that admissions tax for premium seating can be subject to different interpretations. In our discussions, we have sought a uniform approach, after which we will proceed. But at least in the case of the Browns, that approach appears to mean the team will pay no back taxes on premium seats at the stadium, no matter what is decided about what taxes are owed on the seats going forward. So is that how the city normally proceeds?
We got no sympathy whatsoever.
The Beachland Ballroom is the anchor of an emerging Waterloo Arts District that holds some promise for reviving part of the glory of Cleveland's Collinwood neighborhood. Several years ago, as it tried to gain its footing, the Beachland fell behind on the city's 8% admissions tax on tickets, the same tax that's in dispute with the Browns over premium seats at the stadium. At first, the city wanted the Beachland's owners to pay back all the back taxes all at once.
Having to pay a lump sum, we would have just gone out of business. It was much too much for our little mom and pop shop.
The city told co-owners Cindy Barber and Mark Letty that with penalties and interest, they didn't owe just over $100,000 in back taxes. They owed about $400,000, and that Cindy, as the finance officer, could be held personally responsible.
She was petrified. They were coming after, we're going to put liens on her personal properties. If you feel that they're going to take all your personal property, that raises the stakes substantially.
Cindy and Mark eventually agreed to pay back close to $140,000 over several years on the Beachland, but the stakes in terms of the dollars are likely much higher with the Browns. In Chicago, Cook County sued the Chicago Bears over how little tax the Bears paid on loge tickets at Soldier Field. According to an Illinois appeals court decision, the Bears valued the loge tickets at $104 apiece. The court said the value was $750 a ticket, and after applying interest but allowing for some deductions, ordered the Bears to pay back over $5 million in back taxes just for 4 years. In Cleveland, the city routinely takes people to court for owing far less, in many cases hundreds rather than millions of dollars. This woman owed $657.96 in back municipal taxes, and she couldn't believe the city would come after her but not the Browns.
It's ridiculous. We're trying to do the best we can and nobody's helping us, but they get all the help. And they're making millions of dollars.
Published reports indicate each NFL team made about $131 million just from national TV contracts in 2013. And by 2016, that could be $200 million a year per team.
I think if I have to pay back taxes, they should pay back taxes.
When we were in tax court, we met a healthcare worker who is now paying the city $200 a month for her back taxes. As for the settlement over taxes on premium seats at the stadium,
I work hard, if not harder than them, so I think they should be treated just the same. If I got to pay it back for 4 to 5 years, so should they.
so why would the city sign this agreement with the Browns? Some people wonder if it's just because it is the Browns.
It does stick in your craw a little bit to hear that those a little more powerful than us are able to work out deals. We would have liked to have had that same kind of consideration.